Hello, I'm Eos and this is Suki. We're here to talk to you about the Marfan's Trust, the importance of raising awareness for Marfan syndrome, and a few of our own life experiences. The reason we want to do this video is because we like to help out the charities such as the Marfan's Trust and Marfan's Foundation. So, for those out there who are wondering, Suki, what is the Marfan's Trust?
Well, they're a UK-based charity, and they basically raise awareness and they raise money for the research of into treatments and things like that for Marfan syndrome. So, yeah, they also do events like this event, which is coming up soon.
Which is on Saturday, the 3rd of October 2015.
Yeah.
So if you're watching this video after that date, don't book any tickets unless there's one going on near you.
But you can book for this event. The tickets are free. You have to email or go through the Marfan's Trust website to get them.
That's it there at the bottom of the screen.
There's the website. They're also on Facebook, so look that up on Facebook as well. There are other charities like the
Marfan's Foundation, for one.
An American-based one. There you go.
And this here,
the Marfan's Foundation. They do the same sort of thing as the Marfan Trust. These bands you can get from their websites as well. You can get t-shirts, a bit like this one I'm wearing here. So if you are doing any awareness raising events, that's where you would get t-shirts from and stuff like that.
They also can sell good hoodies such as this one, which you can't really see. It says, "We don't know how strong we are until being strong is the only choice." And that's for Marfan syndrome awareness, which brings me neatly to awareness. Why raise awareness? What's the importance of it, Suki?
Well, it's not very well known. I mean, there's conditions out there like cerebral palsy, cancer, stuff like that, Down syndrome, that are well known about. Everybody knows about them. But if you go onto the street and ask random strangers, do you know what Marfan syndrome is? They will tell you, no, sorry, we don't. Even most GPs and doctors don't know about Marfan syndrome. I mean, I've come across quite a few that don't. Other professionals like social workers and things like that, they don't know about Marfan syndrome. So it is important to raise awareness, because, and as well, I think it's important, the main reason, because of the way I've been treated myself by professionals, because they don't know about it. I mean, I've been called a liar, a fake, because they didn't know about Marfan syndrome. I mean, there was one occasion where me and John at the time, we were homeless, because we just got together.
And there was unfortunate circumstances.
We just got engaged as well. We'd been together a couple of months and we'd just got engaged. And there were some unfortunate circumstances. And we ended up homeless because of it. And we went to numerous housing agencies and things to get help. And I told them, oh, you know, I'm disabled. And they were like, right, okay, where's your wheelchair?
That's
face palm, freaking face palm.
Yeah.
You know, wheelchair.
Really?
Okay.
Really?
It is just to make everyone aware, right? You do not, okay, a wheelchair is not required for you to be disabled. You know, some disabilities are invisible. You know, disabilities don't always affect the legs. Sometimes they affect the eyes. Sometimes they affect the hands. Sometimes they affect the organs.
Marfan does all of that.
Marfan generally affects every part of the body because it is a connective tissue disorder. Yeah. It affects the skeleton, organs, it affects the eyes, everything, the skin. It affects everything. And I just sort of like explained to these people what Marfan syndrome was.
And they still looked at her like a liar.
And they said, you're a liar, you're just trying to fleece us and get money out of us and con us into giving you a house.
So where did we go?
So we went to the Marfan's Trust, the Marfan's Foundation, the Marfan's Association. We went everywhere online and we got all the info that we needed and took it to these housing people and sort of rubbed it in their face.
Now, you might think, why would the housing office know about medical conditions? It's not their job to.
Yeah.
You'd be right. But if it wasn't for people knowing about Marfan's Trust, that information would not have been readily available for us. Oh, now you see. Okay.
Yeah.
So the more that people hear about it, the more the information is there. Like, cancer. They know there's over 200 forms of that. You've heard of breast cancer, testicular cancer, lung cancer, throat cancer. What do you know about Marfan's? How many types of Marfan syndrome have you heard of? There's 2. Yeah, did you know
2 that we know of so far.
Right. One's genetic, the other's mutated, but the effects are the same, roughly.
Yeah.
Different in each case.
Each case of Marfan syndrome differs between person to person. Not every patient has the same symptoms.
And also, it's also happened where people have gone in, they've got Marfan's, but because their scoliosis is more prominent, or because something else is more prominent, they're diagnosed with that instead of Marfan's. Yeah. They then have an incident, like one of my friends who I talked to online, his life was saved because at a young age, he had a heart attack, a really serious issue with his heart. He was rushed off to hospital and they diagnosed him with Marfan syndrome. Up until that point, he went to doctors, they didn't know any of the signs, they didn't know anything about it. And if he had not had nearly died, he would never have known.
Yeah.
There are people out there who have died not knowing.
Yeah.
We're not trying to save lives, we're just trying to get the point across.
If they knew, if there was awareness there, more awareness, and they knew and the doctors knew, then maybe they could have had treatment earlier and their life could have been saved. Or even some people living without knowing now, their quality of life could be made better
for knowing,
if they only knew about the condition that they had. Also, doctors, if they knew about the condition,
they could diagnose.
They could better help their patients. And because I've heard people being wrongly diagnosed. There are similar illnesses, similar syndromes to Marfan syndrome, like it was EDS and Loeys-Dietz.
Yes, and Loeys-Dietz, yes.
Yeah. So they've been diagnosed with that instead of Marfan syndrome.
But equally, the shoe can be on the other foot. Some people who have been diagnosed with Marfan only have EDS. Yeah. So it's a two-way street. But another reason, and I think this is probably the most prominent one for me and for you, is when I met her, I didn't know she had a disability. She didn't look disabled, like she said, right? She doesn't have any not being harsh here, but Down syndrome. You look at a person with Down syndrome, you know they've got it. It's like you look at someone that's got leukemia. You can tell if they've got no hair, like because of their
with
chemotherapy.
Some disabilities and conditions,
they're in your face.
There's prominent features, like Marfan syndrome.
You can't tell.
Marfan syndrome does have some prominent features, but not everybody has those features. Like the main features that you can tell
the signs
that you can tell someone with if they've got Marfan syndrome, like me. Very long fingers, very big hands, very long arms. My arm span is longer than my height, basically.
Yeah.
Long legs, long feet. You know, so I've got all them signs. They are the main signs, but not everybody exhibits them signs. So sometimes it is hard to tell if someone's got it.
But like I said about awareness, is looking at her, not even knowing this existed, I wouldn't have put her down as disabled, no matter how much she paid me. She told me I have a disability, and I was thinking, what disability? And she said Marfan syndrome. And honest to God, right? I will swear on a stack of Bibles, even though it might burn my hand, right? Is that when she said it the first time, I said, Martian? Martian? What? She went, no, Marfans. It took her 9 times saying the word, spelling it, writing it, waving flags in my face for me to get the thing right. And the best thing is when I had to tell my parents, I said, oh, I've got a girlfriend, we're engaged now, but she has a disability called Marfan, Marmite, oh fuck, what? So, what was it? Marfan syndrome. My dad goes, what the hell's that? And I went, so you talk to him. And now I've been with her for 10 years. I know quite a bit about it because I'm her carer. So family members, friends, patients, carers, the working system, doctors, housing system, people in professional places that decide people's futures, the government even, needs to know about Marfan syndrome. We're not trying to wave a flag of revolution. The important reason for it is because without people having the knowledge of Marfan's syndrome, means that the people with Marfan syndrome don't have the knowledge. Imagine this. I said this to Suki the other day. You wake up one day feeling sick. You go to the doctors. The doctor don't know what's wrong with you. You don't know what's wrong with you. You then look on the internet and you find out about a disease or a disability or a syndrome. And you feel like you are the only person in the world who has it. How do you explain that to your friends? How do you explain that to your family? How do you cope with that?
Yeah.
Awareness gives you that information. You can tell them and then they know how to treat you. They know how to act around you. Then you know yourself. So raising awareness is very important. You can do it in a million ways.
It's very important as well for doctors to know about this condition, because doctors are the ones that are looking after you. Doctors are the ones that treat you when you're ill. If they don't know what's wrong with you, how are they going to help you? How are they going to save your life? So they need to know about it. I mean, I've been in situations where doctors don't know about it. I went through years of going through different GPs just to find one that knew about Marfan syndrome.
And
because the others didn't know about it and they thought I was putting it on. They thought I was lying. I mean, I went to a doctor, the GPs, and said to them, look, right, I need to have yearly heart scans and heart checkup. And they were like, oh, well, why? You're young. Have you been having chest pains or anything like that? I was like, no, but I have Marfan syndrome and I have a dilated aorta that needs regular checking.
Yeah.
And he was sort of like, no, there's nothing wrong with you. You're lying. I've never heard of this. I'm a doctor. I know everything. Yeah.
Yeah. And the funny thing is
you know, so it's like I I walked out of the doctor's surgery at that point and I was like, no, I'm not dealing with someone who's going to treat me that way.
Yeah.
So, but now luckily I found a GP that knows a lot about Marfan syndrome and he works with me and he's very good.
I mean, I don't like doctors because most of them, they have this general attitude. You go in missing a limb and they're like, have some pills, go away. This guy, right, Suki will go in, she goes, oh, I've been feeling a bit more tired than usual, you know, I could be chronic fatigue, I don't know. Most doctors would be like, oh, just go get some rest, have a tea, see you later, bye-bye, next. This guy's like, right, well, I'm going to send you down the sleep clinic to see if you've got sleep apnea. Then we looked up about that. That's something that I didn't know about sleep apnea. I don't know if Suki did beforehand, but that's more information. There's more information about people who can't sleep properly than there is with people with Marfans.
It's funny, I walk into that doctor's surgery and I say to him, oh, I think I've got this problem. I think I've got that problem. He's like, right, okay, send you for tests. And that's it. Because he knows I know about my condition.
Because
he knows I'm quite clever with medical stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know everything medical, but I have a big interest in it. And my doctors know that I have a big interest in it, and they know that I know about it all. So they work with me rather than standing there telling me what to do or what they think. They listen to me and they work with me. And that is the best kind of doctor. We need more doctors like that. But also we need more awareness for Marfan syndrome.
Yeah.
You know, so...
Now, I'm just going to say, because we've got 5 minutes left of the video, well actually 4 minutes, so I want to get this quickly. We've told you about the Marfan's Trust, we've told you about the importance of raising it, and we've expressed some of our personal feelings, emotions towards it. And we will be doing other videos later on in more detail of certain life events. But one of the things that Suki here does, if you don't already know, is that she does a lot of support for people out there of all disabilities, of all age, creed, nationality, whatever. And she doesn't do it because she wants to get famous. She doesn't do it because she gets paid. She does it because this affects her, and she's had some seriously bad things, like things that shouldn't happen. And like I said, as a carer, I didn't know anything about it. And I've told my friends, she's told her friends, and we've even had our friends help us raise awareness. And something that surprised me the other day is, like, when we're online, because we game, when we go online, we tell people, oh, Suki's got Marfan syndrome. And they're like, what's that? We tell them, they look it up. And the other day I was in a party with Suki and one of the people we told, and one of his mates came in, and this guy was a little bit iffy around female gamers. He wasn't rude, he was just iffy. And my friend said, no, she's got a disability, she has Marfan syndrome. The guy says, what the hell's that? And the kid said, look it up. The guy looked it up and then apologised to Suki for being mean. And Suki was like, you weren't being mean, were you? Well, I don't know. So each person you tell is another person that knows. You don't have to know the ins and outs, but it would be good if you learn about it, because you never know. It's like they say, it may never happen to you. It might happen to someone you know. You might meet someone in your future that has it. So get schooled now before you don't know. You're like, you know, I was going to say something wise then, but I kind of...
Also, you can Google Marfan syndrome and all the websites and everything will come up. Also, go on Facebook, type in Marfan syndrome, because there are a lot of groups on there and pages, support groups, awareness pages, everything. Three of the groups I run. I run a support group called Marfan '(S) syndrome. And I also run Marf Match, which is a kind of dating, friendship, love site thingy
for people with Marfans.
You don't have to have Marfans to join it. If you like, you know, if you want to meet someone that has Marfan syndrome, you can join it.
Yeah.
Also, I run an awareness page called Marfan Awareness Raising Fellowship. Or
abbreviated Marf.
Yeah, or the Marf for sure. But yeah, just look on Facebook. There's loads of pages on there. There's also the Marfan forum on Facebook and the Marfan support forum. They also have an e-shop, so look them up on Facebook. You can buy all sorts from their e-shop. Yeah, look all that up.
So just before the time runs out, I just want to say thank you for watching, and you will see more of us. So don't forget, raise awareness, spread the word, put some good back into the world.
And keep Marf and raise awareness.
This is Eos and Suki saying thank you for your time. See you soon. And stop.